Aloha guys, Colo here. So the episode that we're releasing today, we're so excited to release. We did do it about a year and a half ago, so much has changed since then for the business, for the GAA, for everything. So in Kiana Sportswear, and we're actually going to be able to do a follow-up interview soon with them. So all that you're hearing definitely has a lot of value in their start, and we're so excited to bring that to you. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Warrior Women in the World of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Colo, and I'm joined today with the founders of Kiana Sportswear, here with Sophie and Gráinne. So they have so graciously decided to join me today, and I'm super stoked to have them on. And they'll be the ones telling you their story a little bit more because I'm still learning about them. But I definitely know that they've been able to provide uniforms and training tops to different both GAA and just hurling teams, camogie teams. And I'm going to ask them a little bit more about where it all started. So ladies, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today. I really appreciate it, even with all the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Thank you so much for, especially we only meeting you last month. And,
yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Hop on this. We're super excited.
Yeah,
awesome.
Like, let's do it.
Why not?
So when and how did Kiana Sportswear start, and how did you guys even meet up to like decide that? I'll go with Gráinne if you want to start first on that.
Yeah, so me and Sophie met playing for Nafina ladies football and camogie team here in San Diego, and we over the last couple of years we've kind of been in charge of getting the gear, getting training tops, shorts, and all that. And we just found that every time we went to get the gear from different manufacturers, they either didn't carry women's fit, or the women's fit was kind of a shrunken men's version. It was like tight in all the wrong places and loose in all the wrong places. So we got a bit frustrated with the lack of options out there for women's bodies, because women's bodies are very different than men's. You can see that even with IDA Sportswear, who just started to create cleats for women, because women's feet are actually a different shape to men's feet, and so are our bodies. So we just decided to start kind of looking into it, looking at manufacturers, kind of thinking about, how our hips impact things, how our breasts impact things, and kind of just thinking about that shape. And then just getting manufacturers working on a pattern. We spent the last 6 months up and down the road to LA trying to get a pattern right, using ourselves as the models, testing it on people, getting feedback. So it's been a lot of back and forth over the last 9 months or so, but we're starting to get there.
Nice. And then how did you guys basically decide to team up? You found each other on the team and you were just both like, this is ridiculous, we need to do something, and you both just had that gung-ho attitude, or what's your story there, Sophie?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, because what ended up happening, we're both on the board for Nafina as well. So we were tasked with getting these jerseys ready. And I mean, we spent hours on the Masita, design your own jersey thing. And that's essentially how it started. We just were like, yeah, we would love to take on doing the jerseys. And then we realized how difficult it was. Not only there was a barrier just to design, but then there was also the barrier, you have no idea what you're actually getting. It could vary so vastly from what you're actually designing. And I think that's really what got us to really start thinking about it. Because, you don't really think about starting a business. You know what I mean? If something really has to happen to the point where you're just really frustrated. I'm going to do it myself because it's hard to do. It's really, really tough.
And nobody else is doing it, or they're not doing it as well as it needs to be done.
Yeah. And so we were like, you know what, screw it. There's nothing stopping us from trying this out. So yeah, that's what we did. We literally decided, I think it was this time last year, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, we're actually we were talking to different people about it. We had some ideas about it, and we're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I think we lost it.
Awesome. When you guys formed it
last year, I think we were literally in your kitchen with measuring tape and trying on jerseys and measuring different measurements and what we thought would be a better fit, and then trying to just send it off.
There's definitely a cost to starting up your own business, and let me just ask that, did you guys have the capital first, or what was the process like in order to be able to get that going for you? Because especially with material too, you need the money to put in for the shirts and whatnot and everything. So how were you guys able to do that?
Yeah, we just kind of used our savings. So we didn't put much into it. Luckily, when you're really thinking about, especially apparel, we're not doing bulk quantities. We're not doing 10,000, yoga pants or something like that. So it was always going to be really small. So like 30 jerseys here and there. So honestly, the difficulty was finding a manufacturer that was okay with low order quantities like that. That was the
Yeah.
hardest thing for us to do. And then eventually we found them. It just took time. But that's what allowed us to really start this, because I mean, it's not like we're loaded. So we didn't put,
Right.
$100,000 into this. We're only putting, a certain amount of money, like less than 10 grand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really what we've done so far. And just kind of, we've had small orders here and there. That's kind of kept us afloat. And
Sure.
next year, now that we have a lot of like our pattern pretty much fleshed out, there's a lot of like, I think you saw it too, and you had some feedback as well. It's like, there's like a few things for our jersey pattern that we needed to fix that we actually now have fixed.
Nice.
So now I think next year will be more like testing of more teams, like men's and women's teams, getting more feedback and really broadening our product range. So it's pretty exciting.
And you're listening to your clientele as well. And also you are your clientele. So I think that also has a big additive to that too. And yeah, I'm not sure what I say. It was pretty comfortable though. Like, I mean, I fit, I think, I don't know what you put on me, but I was actually very surprised that I even fit it because you'd said they run small, but I was like, or maybe I was just a little bit more informed that day, but so that is tough though, using your savings, and it's scary, like, especially if you're not sure if you're going to get the returns on that. So like you said, it sounds like you guys are at least staying afloat, which just means that you're pretty much breaking even. Are you guys at least a little bit able to make a profit? Because it is a business. Like, you do want to make some profit off of it for you guys so that you can pay yourselves eventually and then put it back into the business, correct? Or what are your goals for these? And you can take it with Sophie or Gráinne.
Yeah, no, I think we have been breaking even. That's because honestly, when we're starting this, it was more like for fun. Like, we were looking really for like Nafina. And then as we kind of went into it, we're like, there's actually a much bigger market here. Then there's a lot of people that are complaining about sports gear in particular. Like, as soon as we started talking about this, people were coming up to us asking questions like, do you do basketball? Do you do softball? Do you do this? And it's like, we didn't even have a business model at all. So like, no, we don't do any of that. So yeah, I think we've been like, not just breaking even. I mean, we've obviously lost a lot of money. This is our first year, so we've lost money. But now that we're kind of getting into a more stable state, which is still a very loose term because it's our first year, we're now seeing like, okay, we're breaking even. We're getting a lot more interest, so that can help us with R&D. But yeah, we're definitely not profiting as in like pocketing anything. It's all going back into the business.
Yeah,
as it should for the first like 5 years.
And then like when we've just put out our market survey, which has been really good. We've had like over 100 replies so far, and we're aiming for 300. So we're like just over a third of the way there. But already like the initial findings from it are, because like when you're doing it just yourselves and it's your team, you kind of feel like you're in a vacuum. Like, you're just like, I don't like it, you don't like it, we don't like it. But like, does everybody else feel the same? So it's been really good just testing that out and seeing that there is a market there. And so far the market survey results are showing that, yeah, women everywhere across the world, from Ireland to the UK to Dubai to the United States, are having same issues that we are experiencing with teamwear. So that kind of has very much bolstered like the business case. So what we're hoping to do with that information is to go out for grants and funding next year to try and keep funding that research and development, because the research and development is what's going to make our company so unique and help us, survive and thrive. And just getting that funding to keep that research and development going is going to be so important for us.
Do either of you have backgrounds in like marketing or research development, as you were talking about? Because even that like sort of thing, like, I can somewhat get overwhelmed with, because it's like, okay, what do I use? Or, okay, am I just going to use a Google sheet? And even that, like, how the frig do I use this thing? Like, and then do I just send it out individually? Like, so do either of you have backgrounds, or both of you, or neither of you, and you just, YouTube University? Like, what was your strategy here in figuring out how to do that?
I work in finance, so that side, I mean, I handle for the most part. But yeah, I mean, kind of just flying by the seat of our pants, right, Gráinne?
Yeah, exactly. Like, my background is adult learning and development. I've used like surveys for like seeing what trainings people want to do, but that's about the extent of it. So and then, of course,
what type of training
is great.
Yeah,
what kind of training? ChatGPT is a good, employee on the side.
Yep.
ChatGPT really helped us.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, even starting a website, like doing little things. But I think we're also very, very lucky to have a very close knit friend group that has really helped us along the way. Like one of our good friends, Jackie, she's, she works in marketing and she's really helped us. Like if you were to look at our Instagram, what, 4 or 5 months ago, like there was literally nothing on it. We had zero social presence because like I'm not really interested in social media. Gráinne, I mean, you're probably more so than me, but like we were so focused on like developing a product that you're not thinking about like your social presence. So having someone like Jackie was invaluable to us. I mean, she's really put us on the map, which has been amazing. And we also had another good friend, Shannon. She does photography, helped us with our product photography recently. And then Gráinne's husband has been huge for us as well. He helps with all of our designs and he helps with our website too. So we've just been really blessed to have a good team around us. So anything that we don't know, which is most things, we have someone to ask questions to, and it's been good.
Was there a trade-off with them? Like who you were working with, like with the photographer and everything else? Like was there any deal struck, or was there just like, hey, I'm going to help you guys out. I love what you're doing. I love the idea. Like, what were the logistics of that?
A little bit of Kanyumbi. Yeah, definitely like very involved in the mission. Of course, as well, you don't want to take advantage of your friends, so we always, offer them, what we can because we've limited budget, but we want to make sure that they're fairly compensated as much as we can. And then also like a lot of them are like, in my husband's case as well, he's like, look, I have a graphic design portfolio and all of this is really going to help me in my career to say that, I helped a women's sports wear company launch and I did all these designs and websites and stuff, and kind of same for Shannon to say that she can do that as part of her photography portfolio. So there's a couple of different like benefits for getting involved.
And it is awkward. Like it definitely is at first to ask like your friends about it. It's because you do feel like you're using them, but like you're not though. That's the thing. It's like, that's what they do. That's what they're really good at. And that's something you're not good at. And it's kind of like phrasing it in a way. It's like, look, I have this project. Do you believe in like our project and working with us? Cause like, that's like, this is what we're trying to do. And this is, can you help us do that? And like, we can compensate you if you want, there's absolutely no problem. But like, how can we make this work? And are you willing to work with us? And obviously there are friends that they're like, hell yeah. Like, why not? I mean, of course we believe in your business and we believe in you guys. And honestly, it makes you closer. It does actually get you guys a lot closer because you start seeing different sides to people. Like for Shannon, it's like this whole, I mean, I always knew she was creative, but I didn't realize like when she's in her element, like how she conducts business and how she really conducts herself with her talents. It's so cool to see that side of people. Same thing with Jackie. It's like a totally different kind of person. So it's cool.
Yeah, Shannon came up with shot ideas that I would have never in my wildest dreams have thought of, like just things that like show off like how our material works, how it stretches, but yet it's still being like an amazing photograph that you can put on a website, on social media. So yeah, it was really cool to see her creative process and to see like the kind of out of the box ideas that she came up with.
I think it's more of a hobby right now because she has a full-time, I think it's like all of us, like we have our full-time jobs and then we have our, businesses. I mean, I personally love it. I think it's great. I love like, especially when you're doing something you really care about. Like I really believe in our mission and like what we're trying to achieve. And I think there's a huge gap for that. So like anytime I'd actually consider taking a break from work. So like I'll have like some downtime for work and I'll start working on some Kiana stuff or answering emails or do whatever I need to do. So, I mean, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. Like working a 40-hour week you're working a 40-hour week, you're doing your side business, you also have your social life, you also have like other commitments, like we're both on the Nafina board, involved with some of the charity initiatives with the Irish community out here. So it's a lot, but kind of like as Sophie said, like we're passionate about it. This is something that we actually care about. It's a problem that we want to solve. So we're motivated, we're driven to do it. But also like for me, I have to I think previously when I've had like business ideas, just by myself, I run out of steam. But I think like having Sophie there helps keep it going. I think like having a partner really helps when one of you is kind of losing motivation or not as energized by it, the other one is. So we kind of feed off that a little bit. And then also like just remembering like not to quit, just to take breaks, like just pause, like refresh and then pivot and go again.
that's been my motto for like the last year or 2 years, aside from it being like a surfing thing. Like my motto's just been, just send it. Like, just send it, whatever you're doing, whether you're on the pitch or you're just looking at an email or just like overthinking it. It's like, nope, just send it. Just send it. Don't look at it. Like, obviously, like, proofread. Like, it's not that like con prisa, like it's not with that much like pressure, but make sure you're just not sitting there like, did I spell or did I write the instead of at, or like, you know, whatever the case is. So
how's my tone?
exactly.
Is it are they going to interpret this badly? Just send it.
Oh my god. Yep. And then whatever, because that's on them, right? How they receive it. I mean, obviously there's ways and there's patterns that people write that you can pay attention to, but it's still just, you know, you just got to take the word for it, especially in email. And then if it becomes something more than you give it, then you call. Right. And that's what my cousin, who she runs a business called Panty Promise, which is very similar. Like, it's garment based, but it's all cotton, 100% organic cotton. The gusset that's in the underwear that's supposed to protect like your whole vagina is a little bit higher to actually cover where it's supposed to cover, and not just like this little little pocket looking thing. Right. Yeah. So it's actually comes up, and it's also like seamless, and it's just, they're super comfortable. Like, as soon as you try them on, you have like a huge smile on your face, and they're
like, I feel protected.
And the promo thing is a panty a day keeps the gyno away.
I feel like I've seen this for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like
I listened to one of your other podcasts and I heard you doing the ad for it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I wear them though, so it's like, I, you know, just so everybody knows, I use what I promote. So, and it's like, it was funny because she actually started it just like you guys, because there was a problem, right? There's a problem and nobody's fixing it the way it needs to be fixed. And she had the background in design and function. Like, she used to work for Victoria's Secret, and she knows kind of what to do and what not to do as well. Like,
it's a big help.
I learned they were putting like preservatives in underwear, like formaldehyde. And I'm like what they put in dead people, like formaldehyde? And she was like, yeah. And I was like,
oh my God,
what?
100% organic cotton. Great. Going your way.
Yay. Wow.
That's just like what you guys are doing too. It's like, she's working like every day to also like ensure that the product that she is creating is also being able to adapt and grow. And, you know, there's definitely come like struggles with that too, both just trying to put your capital into it so that you can get it back, and just with dealing with like production and where you're getting it from, and like whether you're getting it abroad or within the United States. So do you guys, from your producer, do you guys go internally like in the United States, or are you getting it from outsourcing?
Well, we tried both. So for getting the pattern ready, that was honestly done all through like in LA. And then, but yeah, if you want like low order quantities, you have to go overseas. So yeah, we mainly deal in like China, Pakistan. And honestly, like they've been it's been incredible working with them. And it's really interesting too, like the cultural differences, but it's also been a barrier. I mean, in general, there's been a lot of interesting barriers that we've hit starting this. I guess we can kind of segue into this, but like one of the things is like, I mean, the whole reason we're starting this is because women don't actually have women's sportswear. Even when you look at like Nike and Adidas, they're not like really nice looking jerseys. Like they're okay, but it's not the same quality as men's, unless you get to professional level, obviously, then it's different. But for us, like rec league or just trying to take a sport seriously or playing soccer or whatever, I played soccer. I never really had like incredible jerseys or anything, you know? But it's interesting because now when you're actually trying to create it, I've literally had multiple manufacturers or suppliers, I guess, come back and say, oh, well, why would you do this? You can just do unisex. Like, or why would you want to have, why like these jerseys are way, way too small. Like that's not going to fit anyone. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not going to fit a man. It's going to fit a woman. And that's the entire point. And it took us months to start educating people that we were coming into contact with. It's like, no, this is what we're looking for. And even women, when we first started putting these jerseys on women, it's like, no, you actually are this size. You're not this size. You're actually, you can fit into this. I promise you can fit into this.
That was me too. Yeah.
Actually,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can actually, you're this size and you're like, okay, actually I am.
yeah.
And it's really interesting seeing that, not only when you're trying to create the clothing, but when you're putting it on other women. It's just been really interesting to see that in the year that we've done it.
Well, that's also
Mhm.
the care that you guys are both taking to look at those measurements and how the body can and does go. And it's not one body fits all, right? Which is the hard part too, but really trying to figure out that material. Because like I fluctuate, which is super annoying. Like I'd rather not, especially in my line of work. I'm a personal trainer, I'm a martial arts instructor. But it's true. I do fluctuate, and it goes like more in the front for me and a little bit on the sides, but it's like, having that room for that fluctuation too. Like for other women, maybe it's not as much with the fat, but the bloat when you get your period, right? So it's just
Mhm.
dealing with that too. But yeah, it was really
Yeah,
nice fit
exactly.
when I tried it on. I forget where I was going with this, but yes, go on.
Yeah.
Gráinne, sorry.
Yeah, and we've been super conscious of that as well because like it's like there's no happy medium. It's like you're either wearing a baggy men's jerseys and you look like you're wearing a potato sack, or you're
Mm,
wearing the super skin tight thing that shows everything you don't want to show.
that's what I was
Like
gonna say. Yep.
there's no in between. So we've been very focused on making sure we have that in between. We don't want to be like known as like a brand that has super small jerseys and it's only for like tiny women. We're trying to make sure that we cover all women, all body types, all like take into compensation that like we need extra room for breasts and boobs, like we need
Yeah.
room for hips, and then the front area as well. Every time we're up in LA, every time we looked at it, I was like, just make, because like I have a little bit of a belly, and I was like making sure like, okay, is my like, do I feel comfortable in this? Do I feel
Same.
like
Yep.
it's too tight here? So like just making sure that women feel comfortable, and that's like the whole thing. It's like we just want to make women feel comfortable and make them feel like they look good in their jerseys. And a lot of the girls that play football with us and camogie with us and other girls we've talked to is they're like, yeah, like I'm a double D, and like I'd usually be like an American whatever, like I don't know, like 6 or 7, but I always like go up a size because like I need to fit my breasts, and I can't fit them, and then everything else is baggy. It's like just
Yeah.
trying to like solve that problem for women. It's kind of like it's just having that in mind at all times and just making sure that it's comfortable and functional for everybody.
And it's nice that you guys get rid of that fear factor, because it's a fear, like that's my first thought. And I'm like, I don't want to be running in this. Like, even though like I'm in the sport to run and to get exercise, like, and maybe I'm just not where I want to be right now. That's why I'm playing. And maybe it's the beginning of the season, and then you get the training tops or you get the uniforms, and you're like, I don't want to necessarily be seen running in this, or like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I got to do a whole lot more work to even just feel comfortable in this. And it's like, it's like you said, there's all different sizes and stuff, and getting rid of that like stigma of like, oh man, women's fit, that means it's going to be super tight. And like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sure, I'd love to be leaner and fitter like that. That's where I'm aiming, but like not right now. So it's really nice that you guys are changing the narrative of that. And it's a hard stigma to break, because even as I'm saying it, I'm feeling that apprehension. But
Yep,
then remembering how you
100%.
guys like yours fit, that was a really nice fit, and it made me feel really good, and it made me score a lot of goals. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you did. So.
Increases performance.
Yes,
Well, I
it
guess we
did
could
too.
say
It was
that.
Kiana Sportswear. Yeah, there you go. There's
Increases
I'm
performance.
your yeah. I love that. I'm getting that on my next shirt. Improves performance on this.
We should put that on your jersey.
Yeah.
Increased
Yes,
performance.
exactly. She used to be a back, but now
Now she's a
now she's
forward.
able to play forwards thanks to Kiana Sportswear.
She scored 4
No, but
goals. I think you
yep,
did.
You
just
did.
because of the
You
jersey,
did.
nothing else. Yeah.
Yep. And I
Yeah.
was your I was I was
So,
your defender and you had me bet every time.
I don't think you had
no,
any
I
other
kept telling
defenders.
people though, oh my God. Well, so it was good. Like Katrina was coming from the other side, but it's because of your technique too. I mean, and jersey, but Kiana Sportswear,
Of course.
spokesperson. But no, I kept telling my teammates too. I was like, man, this girl, Gráinne, like I was getting to her kind of, I was like getting slow at that point because I hadn't played a game for like 2 years. So even though I've been training, it's different in the game. But I was like, man, first of all, you're just trying to catch up to her. And then like, you're like, all right, I know she's going to have to hit that slitter up the field, to get it to the next person. So I'm going to try and get my hurl at least up there. And then she fucking kicks the ball. And I'm like, oh, like, God damn it. Like, I can't, fuck.
That's her
Katrina, get
signature
her.
move.
I know,
Yeah.
but you can't block it really unless you're either right next to the person, or you get the person, if you like know their game. damn, if I play on your team, it's gonna be bad. I'm giving out the game. But if
I
you know,
know.
if they know the game, they got to get in front of you. So
Hopefully no one that plays
like,
Camogi's
you know,
listening to this.
I'll cut
No.
that part
And
out.
it's okay
I'll just be
because
like,
no, it doesn't
go
matter
ahead.
because Nafina will be wearing Kiana jerseys, so we'll be 10 times faster than everybody
Right,
else. So don't worry
exactly.
about it.
Doesn't matter.
That's all they need. We don't even need to train. We just have to wear the
Yeah.
jerseys.
Yeah,
Enhances performance.
it's you know, we've taken away the baggy potato sackness, so it's actually streamlined us.
Now we're
Yeah.
aerodynamic.
Well, you know,
We're aerodynamic.
exactly. I know we're joking, but that's like literally, it felt like it felt so light. It felt like great because usually too, that's the other thing with like you're wearing those jerseys, it feels hot as fuck. Like you're running and you're like, get it off me. Like I didn't feel it. I just felt the sun. That's all I felt.
Yeah, the sun was hot.
So it was nice.
The sun was hot
Yeah,
that day.
but
yeah.
But I didn't have that extra feeling that I would usually have of that. Like I feel the heat. Now I have this thing on top of me, like get me out of here. Like, and yeah, I know you guys were talking about like the collar and people were saying that it's a little tight. I didn't actually necessarily feel that. And I'm usually like, you know, like if something's up on me. So, but no, it felt really nice, but it's still, you know, it's nice that you guys are still listening to the masses and sending out those surveys and everything and finding out how you can adjust. So, and I hear like if you're working like Pakistan or China as well, like they're really pretty good about being quick to work on the stuff and edit and just try to work with you because if you guys make money, they make money. So why would you not, you know?
Yeah, we were lucky to find some pretty good partners. Not quickly. It took a lot of time and a lot of trial and error. But
how much time about did that take? Sorry to interrupt, but
no. Jesus, how long did it take us?
From the get-go, from like October, we've been like testing manufacturers and
like
we had
last
like
October,
yeah, like a year ago, yeah, and like we had some recommended to us, but they just didn't work out. And then it's just trial and error. Like you just have to like take a leap of faith and pay for a sample and see what comes back, and kind of just process of elimination.
And a lot of it too is like you don't even know. Like when we were sending samples, now when I look back, it's like I can't believe we actually expected anything to come out of that, you know?
We were very naive at the start.
we were like, well, how could you not do this? Like it's super easy. We're sending you pictures of a jersey, so you should obviously be able to do this. So, and I think now we've really grown now. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes, and honestly, that's where most of the money went, was just trying to find manufacturers and frantically doing samples and not understanding that you need a pattern first. And then once we found that out, then it's expensive to get a pattern and a tech pack. And then there was a lot of money spent before we even got there. And then we got there. And that's when things really started clicking. We were like, okay, wow, now we get a jersey that it fits. Cool. Okay. That got us there. But yeah, it took a lot of time.
Yeah. And it kind of be an ongoing thing as well, just like continually to test manufacturers and find different ones and have a couple of different alternatives ready for when we grow. Yeah.
And that's going to be the thing, right? Is like, you're going to be working with them going forward if you want your business to continue to succeed, because you always want to be staying up on the latest. And I mean, you guys are being innovative here. Like, this is not just, I mean, it's not like you're reinventing the wheel, but sort of like, because nobody's given it that chance, you know? And it's like, we're not just, who said this? Oh, I had interviewed, oh my goodness, Sam Capello. So she does the Muay Thai shorts for women for Athena Fightwear. And she was talking about that. She's like, we're not just smaller men. Like, and also with that though, like some men are smaller than me. So like, you know, I'm just like all the sizing, like I just don't get, but whatever. Anyway.
No, but it is tough. Like you actually do need to do that. Like you have to really educate them. And it's like, okay, we're not looking for just either like a cookie cutter thing that you make tens of thousands of, or we're also, or not just like shrinking a jersey that's already existing for a guy. Doing that was the hardest part.
Or
it's
offering
not even like
youth sizes.
Youth sizes.
And it's not like children.
Sorry.
Right. We're not children. We have hips, boobs, you know.
And this is my problem with why they call it Camogie. Okay, I'm done. I can't. This is what I've read on it though. I swear to God, guys, like literally what you're saying is exactly okay. Another podcast, but anyway, I know I'm pissing off.
But yeah, no, there's a lot there. Well, and honestly, What's that?
Go ahead. No,
Oh,
you go.
you go. Yeah, no, honestly though, it's because of how the GAA kind of functions, you know, GAA, LGFA, and Camogie in
Yeah.
Ireland. That really was the reason why we started Kiana, because
Yeah.
when you think about it, like I never thought about doing this, like being in the United States, like playing sports
Yeah.
here. I just never really came to mind. But when I started playing in the USGA here, just began to realize how bad it was, and maybe Ireland is maybe worse, but when you really kind of look at it, it's kind of the same across the board. The United States is just as bad. We don't have women's jerseys at all. But it
Right.
was just really interesting seeing in the GAA though, it's like women are actually wearing just men's jerseys, like
Yep.
shamelessly. Like they're getting full team kits in just men's sizes.
Yeah.
And it like that's it's actually shocking. And when we were getting orders from Ireland over here into the States, you started to see that we're like, wait, they were literally just sending us men's sizes, and we requested women's, and it was just kind of shocking. And that's why we started this. It was just, I couldn't believe that's how it was run.
And then when we did request women's, no one could wear them. They wouldn't fit us. They were literal
Yeah.
like child jerseys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
up here,
What's that?
it's like, it's a sports
Yeah.
bra now. All right, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super uncomfortable. And it's like, again, when I say these things, like, I don't think any of us are trying to like shit on the GAA or anything like that. But it's
No.
just, I think there's things that can be better done. And again, I'm just gonna bring this up lastly. It's like my issue with the word camogie, and I looked it up just to make sure that I wasn't just being disrespectful, because I love Ireland. I love Irish culture. Like I Irish danced. I I play hurling, you know what I mean? Like, and I called it camogie for years
I mean, you
until
play
like,
camogie.
yeah, yeah. And then I looked it up though, and I was just like, first of all, when I started to learn about it, I was like, why do they call it two different things? First of all, because I'm trying to tell people about one thing and then having to explain the other. Like I tell them about hurling first, and I'm like, well, no, actually what I would do is I'd say I play camogie, and they're like, what is that? I'm like, well, it's called hurling for, like, that's the first thing you say too. It's like when the men play, they only call it camogie for when the women play. I don't really know why. Like we just use a different size ball and a couple of different rules, but it's the same game. Like that's exactly how I'd have to say it. And it's like, again, like I wasn't getting all pissed off at that point. I was just annoyed that I had to, like, you know what I mean? Like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing with it for me. It's just like simplify it so that you can grow it. And that makes more sense, because then we can play more, simplifying the jerseys to fit someone, whereas the jerseys don't, seems rather simple, even if the process in itself is not. It's like, it's not like with the shirts for you guys or with the material, you're not adding really or taking away anything necessarily. You're just changing the design and the structure of it, right? Right. So what, like, you
And
know,
it's
people.
funny, how has this not happened with, and we ask ourselves this all the time. We're like, are we doing something that's already existing? Because like, I
Right.
feel like this is something that should have already been done. Like we don't have nearly as much capital as like Nike or Adidas or Vestido or Neil's, you know, like not nearly as much money as them. And how are we the only ones even truly looking into this? You have some that have like women's fit, which is usually just youth. But actually trying to get something that's an actual women's fit, no one's done it. It's I don't know, it kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Yeah. And Gráinne, where are you from in Ireland originally?
County Mayo.
And then Sophie, where are you from?
Arlington, Virginia.
Arlington, Virginia. I'm from Jersey. Jersey, living in Hawaii now. Yeah. And then you guys are over in San Diego as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just, which shows you again, right? Like, I mean, although we kind of came from the same coast, but I was gonna say, like, around the world, like there's no excuse now. Like there are plenty of female athletes, like women's sports, like being televised, you know. And I still think hurling should be televised, and I'm including like women's hurling, which I'm going to call it from now on, but whatever. So, but it's also being televised, you know. And it's like, granted, we're getting more people in the stands, thank God, even though you still look at it and it's like there's not as much, but like maybe if we had the right fit that improved performance with Kiana Sportswear, then we would. But again, it's like there's no excuse not to have that. And it's like you're saying, are we sure this isn't being done already? Or like it is, but it's not being done well because it's just they're just decreasing the size, like you said, like a child's fit.
Yeah,
And
they're
it's like,
not. No one's pausing to like take the time to do the R&D on it. So I think it like a lot of the times it takes women to do that initiative. You know, these companies have gotten so big and they're in their business models and they have their seasons and they have their things that they're focusing on, that there's no real pause to actually stop and look at R&D. But I feel like that's like across the world, like that's a thing for women. Like if a lot of like clinical trials don't include enough women, they don't know why certain things impact them in certain ways. Like even like the sort of simple thing, like I didn't actually know that my feet were a different shape and then I needed to wear a different cleat or football boot. Like I had no
yeah,
idea until I like saw the IDA ad and read into what they were doing, and they did all the science about how we have a narrower heel and how our weight is in a different part of the foot. And then like every time we'd play games and we'd be like at finals, like walking around afterwards, I'd be like, oh my God, my feet are absolutely killing me. My feet were always killing me in my football boots and my
yep,
feet. And I had no idea why. And it's because the shoes I was wearing weren't designed for my feet. And I was completely unaware. So we've just gotten so used to wearing things that aren't for us because that's always been the status quo. Even doing this market research, like women have done this from all across the world, our survey, and everybody is saying the same things. Like, I have a sports bra, it cuts off my circulation and doesn't support my boobs. Like, where everyone
yep,
is suffering from the same thing. And I think right now we're very much on a wave of where you're just starting to see a lot of like women's sports is on the up. Like women are now starting to sell out the stadium against men in certain sports. Like we're on the cusp of a wave right now where there's a big push for women's sports, there's a big push for women in business. And it's really exciting that we're right here, like kind of riding the wave, like with
yeah,
Kiana trying to have this sportswear. And you can see everyone like starting to try and catch up to be like, oh, we haven't been paying attention to women. Let's make shorts that are for your period. Like you can just see those bigger giants now starting to scramble, being like, we have forgotten about half of the population. Like we haven't been serving half the population. So it's
right,
really interesting time. It's going to be so interesting to see what's going to happen over the next decade with all
yeah,
of this, because like growing up there was nothing. Like we wore the boys hand-me-down jerseys, like when we play games, like there was
yeah,
nothing for
Oh,
us. Like I was wearing my friend's brother's football boots and putting tissue in the toe of it so I could fit and go to sports
yep.
camp. So
sports
it's like
camp.
from where we were to where we are now. It's been a journey, and I think the next 10 years are going to be super exciting.
It's all a respect thing, right? As well. And
Mhm.
it just wasn't there, which is, again, you already know where I'm going back to, but it's just, it's about that respect. And it's, you know, just keep, I can't say it enough. It's like keeping it simple, but not, it's like, okay, if you say keep it simple, then it's just like, all right, yeah, unisex, one size fits all. But it's like,
But no, I
yes and
mean,
no,
it's
like it's
unisex is made for
no,
men. Like,
right. It's
it's
not
like,
unisex.
no,
It is
Like
actually, it is unisex, like uni, like
for one
one,
sex.
yeah,
one
yeah. It
sex.
is right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
technically is correct. And that's, I mean, I remember when I was, I mean, I've always younger, like I'm always been a soccer fan. Like I've always played
Hmm.
soccer, and I've
Yeah.
always been a sports fan. And
Yep.
I hated how I could never find I actually deliberately remember when I was trying to buy an MLS jersey, and they literally had like authentic soccer jerseys for women, but the jersey went down like this, and this was like their authentic jersey for sold for women, and it had a huge V-neck down to here, and I was like, I genuinely just want a crew neck like the men wear in a women's
Yep.
size. Why can't I get that? And that's like across the board.
Yep.
You wouldn't you Now you can kind of find it. I think now they're kind of copping onto the fact that like women are sports fans.
Yep.
But that's only probably in the past 2 years,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Mhm. Yep.
Just I don't
It's
know.
just,
And then the other point that I forgot to make was like one of the questions on our survey is like, do you find that sportswear differs in different brands and retailers? And 86, nearly 87% of the women we've surveyed have said yes. So there's absolutely zero consistency across the industry. Like you might be at the one size in Nike and a different size in Adidas, and there's no
yeah.
consistency at all at women's sizing. So you're always trying to just find something that fits your body.
Which is super interesting because it's not like the rulers change much. Like
Right. Like
the
how are they so
sizes
different?
do. Yeah, right. It's like, it's still the same, like however you're measuring, it's still like the numbers are there. But oh man, I forgot what I was about to ask you guys. It had relevance to that too. Aside from that, I was going to mention the score issue, which
Oh
is, I
yeah,
think, still
we've talked
mandatory.
about that one. We've
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
that one.
which doesn't really have anything to do with the podcast, except for the fact
I
that we
mean,
were just talking about that.
it is, but it's like in that, and like I think is it do field hockey also wear a skirt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I
Which
think they
I think it
recently
should
got.
be the opposite, because the men wore the kilts back in the day. So I
Right.
think
Let's get them in
the men should be
skirts.
wearing the kilts again.
It's only masculine sometimes.
Right, exactly. I think that's a time. I think that's when it should be. We should be the one wearing the shorts and they can wear the skirts. How about
Yeah,
that?
playing sports.
Yeah.
Um,
But
or
like,
just
so
all
having said,
around the shorts, Go
having
ahead.
saying
Sorry,
that as
Grania.
well, we also joke about it sometimes. Like, when we bring up manufacturers and we're like, "Do you have women's fit?" And they go, "No, we have unisex." We're like, "Can you imagine a man calling up a manufacturer and being like, 'Hi, do you have men's?'" And they're like, "No, we have unisex." Can you
Yeah.
like imagine like that in a world? And we're joking like Kiana's a little bit like that. Like we've had men reach out to us looking for stuff, and we're like, we're working on the men's line, but we can offer you large women's right now. you know.
And like
It's like an alternate
Yes.
it's like Barbie land.
Yep.
I
Oh
know,
my God.
alternate universe.
That's so funny. I actually wonder, like, did they like anyone buy or no? As soon as you say that. So that's the interesting thing, right? Like, as soon as you say that, they're like, oh, no, I'll wait or whatever. But meanwhile, we're just like, hand it
Well,
over,
it's interesting because like they just immediately go into the assumption that there's a men's brand or there's a men's line. They don't even have to ask for a women's fit. So right off the bat, when we've had men reach out, they're like, "Yep, okay, so I want this and I want this." Like, okay, men's or
Interesting.
women's. Like, what are you looking for? Because
Yeah.
but they don't even think to ask the question. Whereas like if I were to, as like a Nafina liaison, I guess, going into it like a random manufacturer, I'd have to be like, I specifically want women's fit because default will be men's.
Yeah, if I don't specify, I'm getting a potato sack.
Yeah. I know.
God
I was like,
forbid.
I feel like their brain short fries for a second. They're like, so what do you mean?
It
Like
definitely
unisex?
does.
Like you said before, it's like, and then you explain it like, no, not unisex, but this fit. And they're like, I don't understand what.
Yeah, like
Like I can picture the smoke coming out of their brains. Like, but luckily, so you guys have found a company that does work with you though, and that like is starting to understand. So, and again, since there hasn't been anything like that, then I think that just means that there's room to learn and to change, but you have to find that company that is willing to learn, which it sounds like you guys have, and they're less thinking in terms of like not less than masculine or feminine and all that, but like who needs the fit and what the fit needs to be. It's pretty much that simple, and as it should be. But it took you guys about a year to find that, which is crazy, like you said. And even if there was another brand too, this is what I wanted to mention before. Even if there was another brand that did this is something I talked about with I think Emily Kwok. So she owns her jiu-jitsu place in Princeton. She's high level black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So she was like, there's something like sometimes you have a Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts right across from each other, and neither of them seem to be suffering. Like, because we think so much about that competition, or it's like, oh, it's already been done. Like, it can't do it. It's like, no, you can, because it's going to be your own style, your own brand, your own like people that you're working with. And you're just going to be doing it in a different way because you're different people. And that's okay. Right. And I think that's where a lot of us get caught up, because it's like, oh, somebody's already doing it. It's like, who cares? Just capitalism. Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And like, I mean, there's so many people that do women's fit, right? And I think we've gotten, I mean, I know Gráinne, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I know we've had these conversations where it's like, oh, like it's not the same, like they or they have something that people really like they're buying it. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like, and you, like what Gráinne was saying earlier, it's like, that's when you kind of have to pause and just be like, okay, kind of like your Dunkin' Donuts analogy with Starbucks. It's like, you can have two different women's fits. Our stuff may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it doesn't mean that it's not good. It doesn't mean like our competitors isn't good. It just means that, that's competition. That's what you want.
yeah.
And it forces us to get better and to innovate. And I don't know. I mean, I think seeing other competitors like women's fit, this like, that's not a women's, or in my opinion, it's like, that's not a women's fit. This is a women's fit, or whatever. There's different interpretations, and it's a good thing.
But just think what you guys are starting now too. It's like, hopefully when somebody does come out with it, it's like, I think we also have, it's a hard time too, because it's like, we'd see that. And I think the initial thing will be like, hey, that's ours. Like, man, now we got to like fight this person. But meanwhile, it can be like, great. somebody else is also doing it. Like now we can like provide different things for people and like even potentially collaborate, even though you're two different businesses going after the same thing. It's like you guys can host events or whatever and see like whose jersey is performance enhancing most, like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, but you know, it's nice because it's like great, more companies are doing it so that we can keep going and promoting, and you guys were the like the front runners of that, which is incredible. So Kiana Sportswear is definitely on the I don't want to just keep saying innovative, but it is innovative, but you guys are starting something, a revolution. But
yeah, kind of. But yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, there like over time there'll naturally be others that will do similar things to us, but you know, imitation is flattery and all that. And then also I think like, you know, the more companies that are, you know, really thinking about women's fit and how women perform in sports, the better, the more it becomes normalized. And you don't have to call a manufacturer and ask them if they do women's fit, because they do, because that's just the status quo now in 10 years time, when we get there, you know. So it's like it's just being, as I said, like just being on that wave of starting that movement to have women. And that's kind of like where we come up with the name Kiana. It's based off the Irish Cana, which means the same. So we want men and women to be offered equal sportswear, and for not to just be, you know, women to be an afterthought.
Yeah, and not like equal as in the same exact fit, like equal,
not equal, like
equal as in
jersey,
respect.
equal as in respect. Yeah.
Yep.
Same opportunities, same, you know, anything, being able to purchase, like, especially with like, I know we keep going back to this, but going back to like trying to buy gear from a company was just so disheartening, you know.
Yeah.
And what was the stat, Gráinne? I did like 40% of women who start sports when they're younger end up.
What's higher than that? It's like
yeah, actually I think it is higher.
It was like 7. It's on our new website.
It is on our website.
What website is that? I'm sorry, say that again. Which one?
We revamped our website.
What's the website?
Kianasports.com.
That's right. Everybody go to it right now. I mean, after listening to this, but you know, you guys can multitask.
No,
so
right now.
Listen and yeah, exactly.
We'll have
the
I think
about the stats.
Yeah, I think it's something crazy like 76%. They did a survey in the UK. They interviewed like kind of teenagers, and 76% of them dropped out of sports before they got to adult age because of how they felt in their uniforms, that they didn't feel confident. And I feel like, as we said, like it's either they're wearing really baggy things or they're wearing really skimpy things. Like look at volleyball, like look at athletics, like why do they have to wear such skimpy things compared to the men? But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's
well, it is too. But when I was interviewing, just bringing everybody back, folks, this is like, but this is what we've been learning. So when I interviewed Kuma Michelle Manu, who teaches the Hawaiian martial art of Lua, she is also oh, you guys met her. Wait, I just remember that.
Oh,
in
yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That's awesome. I was like, hold on, there's a spark happening in my brain and I don't know. But yeah, so you met her and she was talking about that though, right? Because she played American football and she had played it for a long time and she played it professionally. But once they had like and tried to force her or enforce that, like, have you seen that? Like what they wear? It's like really super skimpy, but like think of what you're doing, like, bro, like American football proper, like tackling, like trying to catch this ball, like how are you keeping these things in here? For those of you that are listening, I'm talking about my boobs. Like how are you keeping them like in there, not getting like, you know, side boob out there or whatever? It's just like man, but that's why she didn't do it. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like this is just, and listen, she's really like she's in great shape. It's not even about that. It's just like that's not the point. Like let's have the men go out there in speedos, shall we?
Yeah.
Like,
what
happens.
Why is it just because, like, what sucks is that they're all really great athletes, you know. It's not like they're just like trying to be kind of skimpy. Like they're athletes and they're being forced to wear these things just so they can play the sport that they love, and that's horrible.
Right. Sucks. And it's not right. So you know, it's like if it was a choice of one thing or another and that's what you choose, then that's fine. But like it's not a choice. It's what, again, going back to like the Camogie skorts. Like I remember we couldn't, at least for our team, like as far as I understood it, we weren't allowed to wear the shorts. Like you couldn't wear you can wear your training shorts to practice and everywhere else, but when we're like on the pitch, like for games and stuff, you have to wear your skort. And I was like, I mean, it was cool. I like the skort. I'm not like knocking the skort, but I didn't like that I had to wear. You know what I mean? I didn't like that there wasn't a choice. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Choice. Yeah, don't make me.
But yeah, we're definitely getting into a lot of that. But so what has been we've talked about it quite a bit. What has been your most negative experience with starting this business?
I mean, like,
That's good. Okay, there is none. Perfect. What's
oh
been
no,
your most? No.
we've blacked it all out.
yeah, literally. It's like I don't remember. Everything's perfect.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Everything's been great.
or
No.
maybe more recently,
No.
what's been, so you guys have been within this for about a year now with the development, and like you said, you've mentioned some of the struggles that you've dealt with, but and it could be professionally or personally, like within doing this. And again, you kind of said that like when you guys are having your lows, like you'll be there for each other. But I guess what has cued the lows? Is it just that like fatigue, or is it like something's happened and you're like, or somebody
Yeah.
says some shit to you? Like what's been that moment for you guys, or a few moments?
It wasn't
But I
like,
think
oh, you go.
I was gonna say, like, one of them, like, I think just like we talked about it, but like it's 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 crazy that you can give so much instruction on what you want for like a half sip or something, and then what you get back is absolutely like comically bad. Like, not the color you wanted, not the material you wanted, not even the shape. You send a tech pack with like a passion in it and they don't follow the shape, and just like having this conversation over and over and over again, and them telling you that they're going to fix it this time and it comes back even worse. And like just like moments like that, you're just like, what's the point? This is too hard. Like, this shouldn't be as hard as it is. And you're on a tight deadline because you're trying to like kit your team out before they go to finals, and like you're feeling that pressure. And no matter how much you explain what you need, or no matter how much documentation you send, you're still not getting what you want. So I think that was kind of quite challenging. And at that point, honestly, we've learned that it's just better to just abandon it and just go to a different manufacturer and start from scratch. Kind of, we know now, like we know now within like a couple of interactions how it's going to go.
Yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
that learning process, and also going with your gut too. It's like, but also you didn't know how easy it would be necessarily to go with a different company. And it's not necessarily easy, but it is in a sense of like, you know what, fine. I'm already like, this is already being really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just, let's try somewhere else. Go ahead, Sophie.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, it's just literally just echoing that because Gráinne, I know what time you're thinking of, and I think that's
the time that broke me.
I think it broke both of us because we were like, we had just started, and we were like, oh yeah, we're to a point where we feel like we're gonna set goals for ourselves and we're gonna hit these goals. So we're like, yeah, we're gonna kit out our team, and that's what we're gonna do before nationals. And it was just a disaster. It like we sent a pattern, we weren't getting back what the pattern was, and then like it just literally it came down to just like abandoning that whole thing and say, okay, look, we're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna have a more templated type of jersey and just go with that for now, and then figure it out. And it ended up being a really good experience and ended up working out really, really well. But like that was fatigue at its finest. Like we were so stressed and so disheartened after that. We're like, who could do this? Like no one can do this. Like this is just so difficult. And like, because it's not just like if we just did a templated jersey, we'd be fine. Like we would have been able to do it. It wouldn't have been an issue. It's the fact that we're trying to create something from scratch. And then they don't understand what a woman's body, like the shape of a woman's body, or like what we're trying to achieve, not just like getting a men's jersey youth size and then put a little curve in it for the waist. Like that's not what we're looking for,
Right.
So it was just, that was probably the most negative experience. But since then we learned so much, because now we're able to make our jersey and repeat it multiple times. So it's good and bad.
I think like the biggest thing that taught us as well is just like it's okay that it doesn't have to be perfect. Like just getting something out there, like just doing something is better than nothing. And the jersey we had at finals, it was women's shape. It wasn't our particular shape, but we still got so much good feedback from it. Like we had teams coming up to us being like, oh my God, what is this company? Where'd you get them? They're so nice. Can we go with you next
The designs
year?
are cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, or as our design has gotten huge traction from that finals jersey. Gaelic mystery kits have reached out to us looking to feature it and put it in their mystery kits. So like that's just been amazing. Like stuff like that are definitely the highs. Like, okay, we're doing something right,
Well,
but
that'll
like,
actually be good because they reached out to us too, like for when we do have a jersey eventually. So
double whammy.
Just saying. It's like, yep. And I hear it's performance and hit no cap. I need to stop
steal score. 4 goals guaranteed.
Or at least,
At least. As long as you
You're
have at least, 12 players wearing it at one time.
right.
12%.
Your left-sided assists might need some work, but that's what your other player down the field is for. So what's out? I mean, you kind of talked about it as well, but up like going through now, and it's good that you've learned those lessons. I'm going on two different roads here, but two things. So first is like, everybody always says like you got to separate business from pleasure. And I think you do to an extent, but also not, because everything that you're forming is a relationship in one way or another. It might not be romantic, or sometimes it might. But it's like you should always respect the person that you're dealing with, right? Like whether it is romantic, whether it is business, it's like I don't think that you should necessarily treat people differently just because you're in those different things. I mean, you know what I mean? Like if it's romantic, you should be treating some things differently, but I'm talking about the respect factor, right? Like
Yeah.
it's, that shouldn't change just because there's money involved. Like, in fact, there should be not even more, but geez, I'm just digging a hole over here, but you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, cause you're talking about not everybody's meant to work with each other, and in romantic relationships, not everybody's meant to be with each other either. Like, and you do have to go through those trials as well. And it's not always necessarily a negative thing. It's just like, you're not understanding what I'm saying. And it's not really you or I, it's just, we're not fitting with this vision that we have. So, we need to go a different direction. And as much as it was like, you guys like are really trying to make something work, it's just not. So, you do go a different direction, whether it's just you guys developing it or working with a different company, then you find like something that's more simpatico, right? Simpatico. But it's just, I think that's one important thing to mention too. And I think sometimes it helps you to grow as a person, and it helps you in your personal relationships, friendships, romantic, whatever, because you're learning how to deal with these things and getting a better understanding of how to deal with different people and what other people might be going through. So I think it gives you just that understanding and empathy. And then the other thing, that I was going to have you guys talk about is your positive experiences. What's been the most rewarding thing? And I think you guys have talked about it a little bit already, but like just to pinpoint it, what has been your most rewarding part of creating Kiana Sportswear, and the thing that's making you like want to keep driving forward? Gráinne, we can go with you first.
Oh, I was going to defer to
we can go
Sophie because I started on the negative, so I thought she could talk about positive.
It's like
all right,
everything's
fuck it.
great.
Go, Sophie. Take it away.
I mean, for me, I think it's more like even just starting the business. That was for me. That's a massive high for me, and like seeing how we're progressing and growing, like that continuous effort that we see is and it's paying dividends. I think that's what the consistent highs are. It's like, yeah, you have your lows, your negatives and stuff, but like we went to nationals and we kitted out our team, and like that was so cool to see the positive feedback, and then people really liking the design and just seeing our jerseys on people. And then like now we're getting so much more interest, and it's just been really cool. Like a lot of women are like, this is so cool that you're doing this. Like I'm so happy a company is finally doing women specific jerseys and shorts, like for a team. So yeah, I guess it's like, it's not really one specific moment. It's more like the compilation of a ton of hard work, and you're seeing it pay dividends as you're kind of going along. So not really one specific thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I agree. I think I agree with that. And for me as well, it's just like telling different women about what we're doing and just seeing the relief and delight on their face. Like just going, oh my God, finally someone is starting to think about this. Like I've been thinking about this for years. Nothing fits properly. I'm always sizing up. I'm excited. Like, do you need a model? Like that's what they like. Do you need someone to test? Like, because that's our next project. We do need a bunch of women in San Diego to test the next phase of our jersey. And they're like, yeah, sign me up. I'll be there. So like I think just like just knowing that we're on the right track, and especially with the survey we just sent out too, like as I said, like when it's just me and Sophie talking about it with our teammates, it can feel like maybe it's just our own individual problem, but with 111 I think at this point, women from all around the world are saying the exact same things that we've been saying, and just that validation that we're on the right track is very rewarding.
I have a question with that. So because we talked about the surveys earlier, but how are you getting them out to that many people? Like what are you actually using to send that out?
Right now, we just started with who we know and word of mouth. So we shared it with our team. We asked them to share it with their friends. We shared it on our social media. I shared it with family and different friends back in Ireland and across the States. And people have just been really great. They have just been honestly sending it to all their friends and family. And this 111 has just been us being like, hey, share this survey.
Is it just like an email with questions, or did you guys fill out like is it like a fill-in type of survey like
It's
Google
it's like
has, or?
it's a Google form where you just have a bunch of questions and
Okay.
you rank things, you rate things, and you also write kind of, you have space to write your comments and stuff, you know.
And you can just send a link via Instagram, like you've just been kind of
Yeah,
messaging it, or like did you post it on a story, or how does that, like, how are you working with that?
just on WhatsApp, and then it's
Well,
on our
yeah,
Instagram.
it's like a, like you like link in your bio type situation,
Oh,
or link
okay.
in bio.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you
Thank you.
went to our Instagram page, you'll see a link that
That's very
directs you
smart.
directly to the forums. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
we did make a few social media posts like on
Hmm.
Yeah.
Instagram, which has driven a lot of people obviously to go to the Google form. But a lot of it has been word of mouth, like what Gráinne was saying. It's like just copy and pasting that link to our Nafina group and then to other people as well. But yeah, social media helps.
Yeah, but it's knowing
Hmm.
where to go, and like that made
Mm-hmm.
more sense to me, because I'm like, how are you, like, is it like you're including that link in like a story? You know, like, again, this is why these details matter, because it's like I wouldn't necessarily thought about that. I do have the link in bio thing for like the link to this podcast. By the way, I have that in my link in bio, guys, for those who are listening and you want to share it. You can also go to my link in bio. So I have it for this, I have it for my website and different things, but like that's smart. Like, hey, you guys can also go to link in bio to find this survey. That would be awesome
Hmm.
for you guys to take, just to let me know. Like, I've tried doing certain survey things of even just like, hey, if you guys have any questions that you want to hear me ask on the Warrior Women in the World of Entrepreneurship podcast, just type it in. Crickets. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Hmm.
so it's smart to have it just kind of staying there and like seeing like when that comes back. And is it the same survey that you have on there, or like how often do you change it, and like when do you typically look at the stats, like after a certain number come
The
in, or?
Yeah, this is our first one. We launched it maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's fairly fresh.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's there. And then obviously they say that you need to get like a 300 to 400 sample size to kind of, for it to be, kind of solid data. So we'll
Right.
take that and probably like maybe go to some events and see if we can get people in like maybe the soccer community to do it and share it with some different groups to try and push us over the line, and obviously do more social media posts. And we have a lot of emails now as well, so just kind of blasting it out.
Has the Komogi Association reached out to you guys yet for some kits, or no?
No,
Not
I guess
yet.
we don't have the rights to do like with the Camogie
Hmm.
C. We can do
Yeah.
obviously jerseys for the USGA and all that. And I think we were speaking to this a little bit when we were talking Colo about like how
Hmm.
you can get the USGA rights, there's like the Camogie rights, and then there's LGFA, and then there's
And
GAA,
there's
and they're all
GA,
separate
yeah.
rights that you have to buy. Um,
Yeah.
but if we have USGA, I mean, I guess it's kind of a
But you're
catch-all.
not, but you'd have to contact them to, first of all, they should contact
Hmm.
you, like you guys. And like that's what I'm saying, like they should contact you, if anybody should, because anyway. So I'll briefly say, aside, like Komogi was actually the first thing that I saw, like that I saw of the sport, like of hurling, and like period, and which was awesome, because I was just like, I remember I was in Galway and I saw it on the TV there, and like that was super inspiring, because it was the women playing and they were rough. Like I love that shit. Like, it was rough but elegant, and that's what the like hurling is. It's rough, it's elegant, it's technical, whether it's the men or women playing it. And that's what I love to see. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, and you could see everybody, like there was a couple from Texas that was like on the other table, and the husband couldn't take his eyes off of it either. I
Yeah.
mean, but like, I mean, but no, but it was like, he was just like, damn, like, looking at like
Yeah.
just more in the sense of like respect for the sport. And so I remember I asked the waitress who was there, like what that sport is. And I think she said, I don't know if she actually said hurling first. I think she may have said hurling first, or she may have said it's the Camogie senior final or something. I think Cork was playing, because it was that red jersey. And I was like, I must have it, I must play. And that's
Give
where it
me.
all started. I hope to have you guys back on too, because I know we could talk all day, every day about like different things. And I definitely want
Oh
to
yeah.
talk more about how Kiana Sportswear is growing, and also how like hurling is growing, and, moving it to being called hurling in general, not just not two different names. But what I want to ask is, like, from both of you and both of your perspectives, like if somebody out there is thinking about running their own business, or even like you guys did, right? Like there were so many people that you said talk to you that were like, oh man, I'd been waiting for this, or I wanted this. It's just like, maybe, but they didn't do it. Like you guys, you did do it. It's something that needed to be done. And you were like, all right, you know what? Like, let's do this. And I think that's all it takes sometimes, is really just like biting the bullet, being like, you know what? Like, I'm going to stop complaining about this and I'm going to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
what would be your advice for entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs out there on either getting their business going or just taking that dive? Or if they're already entrepreneurs, like, what's your advice for just like keeping that steam up to keep on going, even if it is maybe they're just by themselves? You know, what would be something that you could recommend to them to just motivate them and keep them going within this heavy world sometimes?
Yeah, I guess just getting it done, not perfect. That's like the thing that I've been kind of
Yeah.
reeling in my head. It's just like anytime we hit a barrier, it's like, okay, look, we just need to like keep moving. Like if we hit a problem, okay, let's just get it done. Doesn't have to be perfect. If there's a issue, like a big issue that pops up, it's like, okay, just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, and we'll solve the problem. So I think that's probably my advice, is like, just keep going. You're gonna hit, nothing is ever going to turn out the way you're expecting it to. So like go into everything with zero expectations. And I do the complete opposite of what I'm saying, because I go into it with like huge expectations, and then it's always the opposite of what I think. So
Yeah.
just avoid that entirely and just go into it with no expectations. Do your best. Like, you can only control so much, so control what you can control, and then you hand it off, and you have to trust the people that you're working with. And just, yeah, hope for the best, really. Because I mean, as long as you're confident with what you're doing and what you're putting out there and the instructions that you're giving, it should turn out to be what you want. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Hmm. I think like there can be a lot of like analysis paralysis. Like you can get really like in the weeds at the start, being like, is this a good idea? I need to do more research, I need to talk to more people, and you just end up like in your head about it. Like kind of Sophie, you just have to just take the first step. Like I think rephrasing it too, like we often think we have to be an expert to do something, or we have to know everything before we even start, but you don't. And like just rephrasing it, be like, I am somebody who's learning how to start a business. I am somebody who's learning how to design a jersey. And like just rephrasing it and just giving yourself permission to try and fail. And I think like I don't know, in like in society in general, I feel like there's a big, failure is such a negative thing. Like you can't fail, you have to succeed, and like comparing yourself with other people, but you're not going to learn anything until you fail. So just embrace failures. Like things are going to fall apart, they're not going to go right, but you're going to learn something, and then you take that something and you apply it and you keep moving forward, and just making sure that you're learning from your mistakes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Like, so just kind of keeping that in mind, that like it doesn't, as like Sophie says, it does not have to be perfect. Just learn as you go. YouTube is a great university. You'll find everything you need there. And just utilizing your network, more people than you think that can help you. And don't be afraid to tell people what you're doing, because the more you talk about it, the more it's out there in the universe, and the more things that are going to come back to you.
Yeah. And I think both word of mouth and like using social media, and social media you have to keep up with. Like I've just recently, I keep telling people, like gotten into, not recently now, so I guess it's been a few months to a year, with TikTok. Like it pissed me off so bad on TikTok, even just TikTok. TikTok.
The TikTok.
That's gonna be the what's it, like the non-name brand version of it.
The knockoff version.
It's gonna be the knockoff version.
Taskowitz TikTok.
Yeah. Oh man, I should call it that and just make it something specific. But yeah, so with TikTok, like even just being able to log back in, or if you haven't been on there a while, but it's actually been very good with like the editing, and it's different though, like the different algorithms or whatever else. So I'm still working on that, and it's just like they're like, okay, you should be posting 5 to 7 times a day of like even just 15-second clips, and I'm just like, but it's only 15 seconds. And it's funny though, because sometimes you'll see people that like do something super, super fucking simple, and it's just like, really, they got like this many thousand likes or whatever. And then, other people have it like really well done, and like that also has like a couple thousand likes. So I'm like, okay, trying to like use what I've learned on that, and I'll put stuff up and still like only a couple of likes, and then like I'll put something else up and it'll be like 50 likes, or which isn't still, much, but it's still, that's what it's perpetuating though, is making you like having to post a lot more times. So that's the annoying part, but at least some people are seeing it. And again, it's like the people who are at least meant to see it at first, like the people who care about you, the people who know you, the people who believe in you from the beginning, will share it with the people like that will talk about it. And you guys have such a great energy where you're at, and it was so nice to be able to play with you guys when I went there, and I felt that love, and I felt that welcoming, and also that competitiveness too, and it's hard too when you have people of all levels, because it's like you don't want to scare the new ones, but you also don't want to have the ones who've been experienced not feel like they're being able to put everything out there, right? So it's just that happy medium of just making sure that you're always kind of like encouraging the newer players, and like you said, kind of allowing yourself to not fail but still try your best, and understand that, like, that just your best that day is okay, but it might not be where you want to be, but that's why you keep doing it, like all this. I was talking about somebody the other day, and like how, like, nowadays it's, I don't know if they're still doing it, but like where everybody gets a trophy, or like nobody wins or loses. It's just like, I don't think that's really helpful at all. Like I can see how it would be, but it's like we need to learn from that, like those hard lessons, and again, fine line, right? Like I think there are lessons that we can learn from that while putting it in with like still playing competitively, and not giving necessarily everybody a trophy, like a participation trophy, because it's like, your reward is you are participating. You don't need that trophy for that, but what is nice is to get that recognition when somebody else works harder, or that they're putting in that effort. It shows that people are paying attention to that, and not that necessarily that's why you should do it, but it's, if you're doing that and you get recognized for it, it's just more of a motivator to keep on going if you're doing it. And for those that don't get it, they're like, oh man, all right, you know what am I gonna change up so that I can maybe even work towards that player of the year, maybe I just gotta get me one of them Kiana Sportswear, jersey.
Well, and actually, I think you bring up a good point too. It's like being okay with being vulnerable. Like it's so like rough. I know Gráinne and I were so nervous when we were sending like one of our first kits out. We were like, oh my God, like so like I don't know how people are going to react to this. Like how are people, like, because you're really putting yourself out there. It's like you have this unique shape that you think everyone's going to like, or that we like, and then you're just kind of hoping for the best whenever someone tries it on, and like people won't like it, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that vulnerability, because you're constantly diving into something you don't like. I'm not a designer, so it's like you're just constantly trying something new. And yeah, it's hard. It is hard to be vulnerable, but it gets easier the more you do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it could beat you down too, which sucks. Like, and it's funny. It's like, and this is something else I wanted to mention too before we end out here, is that like, you really need to make sure that you're paying attention to all the positive energy and the positive comments that come in, because honestly, maybe it's just one or two negative comments that come in, but of course that's what we end up looking at. And we end up looking at it because it's like, oh, there's a snowball effect, but it's still only like 5 people, and the rest are like, very, very positive about that. Like somebody was telling me, apparently, I think I told you guys, like there is a whole Reddit page on the Hawaii hurling logo about it, because the Hawaiian flag has the, I guess, the Union Jack. It has the Union Jack on it, but it's part of the flag. It's not the entire flag. Like there's a whole other flag part to it. And it's like, like the reason I chose that too, rather than just some flowers or whatever, like as other people were suggesting, as to not cause a ruckus. It's just like, first of all, this is Hawaii, that's where I'm playing. Like, and I know Ireland's very like keen on playing for your county and, whatever. So I'm paying homage to the place where I'm playing out of. They deserve that respect and they deserve that recognition, because they haven't always gotten it. And, they had a very different relationship with the English and a very different one with the Americans. So, that's their history. And what I'm just trying to do is bridge that gap for Hawaii, not England, but for Hawaii and for Ireland, and again, there's a lot of people that are super excited. And there's a lot of Irish in there too, that were just like, yeah, it looks great. Cool. Thanks. Like, and it's a proud moment. Like my neighbor has their Hawaiian flag, like flying, like other people too. And it's just like, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, man, like it's awesome. And it's just, I understand that like Ireland's had a very different experience with England, but it wasn't Hawaii's history in that, it depends on where your perspective is and where you live, so again, there is clearly a lot more to that, but the basis is it's Hawaii and that's their flag. So I'm representing where I'm playing out of. Sorry.
You're gonna get that though. I mean, it's not like as soon as you start putting a sport like hurling and camogie or GAA, and you start bringing it to other countries, there's gonna be things that don't necessarily you know, coincide with the things that you're used to in Ireland. And that's a good thing. You know, it helps.
Yeah.
I mean, look what we're talking about right now. We're in the United States and we're in San Diego,
Right.
you know, starting a company, and it's all because of us playing camogie. Like, I've never played a stick sport in my life, you know, I've only played soccer, and it's just
Me
like,
neither.
yeah, you haven't either. Yeah.
Well, it's
But
just
yeah,
funny
no,
to be, yeah, people
it's
make up
cool.
rules for certain things and will not stick with them. It's just like, okay, with that logic, then you guys aren't going to come visit Hawaii then, right? Because you're very against that flag, right? It's like,
Right.
no, I think you'd still come to Hawaii if you could. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like if I was in Ireland, I'd use that. You know, if I was in Spain, I'd use that. Like, it's just like showing how far this incredible sport that the Irish have like that created, you know, like the father of hockey, like it's showing how far it's come, where it's gone. And, you know, I do want to say, like, in regards to the GAA, they did a lot for the sport because it had kind of died off a little bit, or it wasn't getting played as much, I think. And then the GAA did like kind of reinvigorate it, which is awesome. And it's come so far with them, and it is incredible. But again, there's still things that can still be done. And, you know, I think we have an opportunity to help with that. So, you know, we'll see where that goes. But I just want to say to both of you, thank you so much for dealing with all the, I know we had a lot of technology issues, at least from my end in the beginning, but you guys have been amazing. You've had so much that is super helpful. And I know to the audience out there, like we've talked a lot about the sport that we play, but that is what started this. Like we're playing and there's just a demand, right? There was demand and there was a frustration because it wasn't out there. And that's how they created this business, because it needed to be done. And they needed it. We needed it. So they took it onto themselves and created Kiana Sportswear. And here they are on this podcast a year later, after a lot of like kits were tested out. And like I said, I've been able to wear that, and it's in the right direction. And what I wore was great. Like I would absolutely love to play in that again, which I think I will.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah. But you know, so good on you guys for just doing that and starting that revolutionary movement with that. So I'm super proud of you guys, and I can't thank you enough for being on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having us. It's been great.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
really
no
cool
worries.
to talk this over with someone else. This is awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just to finish off too with that. So with social media stuff, where can people find you? And I know you mentioned your website already, which is kianasportswear.com. What are your handles? What are the hashtags? Where can they find you? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok?
Yeah, we have a Facebook, we have Instagram. It's pretty easy, at Kiana Sportswear for both. At Kiana Sportswear for Instagram and Twitter, and then Facebook is just Kiana Sportswear. So you can find us in most places.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And if you'd like to fill in our survey, we'd love to hear your feedback. The link to that is also in the Instagram.
Yes, please.
It's in the bio.
It's in the bio.
Now that I've learned.
It's in the gram.
It's in the gram.
Yes.
It's in the matrix. Awesome,
we need
guys.
150 more, so please, any help.
Oh, yeah, I should actually. Is that for people that have worn it already, or no? Just what they're
No,
looking for in their.
Just if you're a woman, you qualify to do the survey.
Perfect. Awesome.
Or if you identify as a woman. Either way.
Yeah, either or.
Perfect.
Either one.
I was gonna ask as that, because I was like, there still would be that difference of physicality, but I mean you still get the jerseys, but I guess that would be interesting to see how that would like come in, like the survey, and what that would be like to avoid it going back to just a one unisex, you know.
Unisex,
so,
yeah.
Well, I think the direction probably would be to have like a unisex size and then women's sizing. That's probably the bridge. That's what we were kind of thinking.
Have an option, an actual option.
Yeah, because some people really like that kind of fit, and that's okay.
It's true.
And they can fit it really well, actually.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But the thing with you guys is anybody can fit it really well, because you guys are developing that for, again, women of different sizes, and just, you know, having that be something that you don't need to be a certain size to necessarily fit into a women's fit. So, and that's what, you know, I'm super thankful for that. And that you guys, you know, I was able to meet up with you and actually try it on. So, you know, you guys really don't understand until you're actually wearing it, like how nice it actually is. And the patterns are really cool. Like, I don't know, it reminded me like a little bit like medieval too, but also very, like elegant, like very royal, like, I don't know, like it was really cool. And you guys do custom designs too. So I know that we were in the talks of that for the Hawaii hurling team, which super stoked for. So I know it's late where you guys are. So Sophie and Gráinne, thank you so, so much, guys, for coming on. And I hope to see you soon and on the pitch again.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so
100%. Thank you
much.
so much. This was a lot of fun.
This
No
was
problem,
awesome.
guys.
Thanks,
All right.
Colo.
Good
All right, okay.
night.
Good night,
Night.
guys. Thank you so
Night
much.
night. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
A big mahalo to all your listeners out there for tuning in to another episode of the Warrior Women in the World of Entrepreneurship podcast. We cannot thank you enough. And it's so important to be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to be able to download any of our episodes or the entire series of episodes on either Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this podcast now. And if you're watching on YouTube, that's where you can like and subscribe. Please feel free to leave any preferably positive comments underneath and let us know what you think. Also, please let us know if you have anyone that you'd love to see or hear on this podcast, and we'll reach out to them and hopefully get them on for an episode here. So, thank you again so much, guys. We really can't thank you enough. It helps so, so much more than you realize. So, please keep tuning in and please keep sending those positive vibes out. And we hope that you're enjoying this so far and getting so much out of it because we know that we are. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you're at. And we can't wait to bring that next episode to you. So stay tuned. Aloha.